Yo, what is going on, man? We are back again for another episode. This is episode number 11, week number 8 of the Steagles podcast, and we are back with more football. We got a lot of interesting stuff that happened over the weekend. I went to tailgate over in Philly, which was amazing. I tailgated for, the game versus the Dolphins. It was the first Kelly Green game. The atmosphere was awesome. I didn't go into the game, but I just tailgated the whole damn time, and I had a great time. We set up a TV. We were grilling. We were taking parts in adult activities. We were. Videos. Yeah, it was great, man. Fun. It was super, super fun, man. I had a really, really good time. But with that being said, there's other things that will happen as well. Steelers beat the Rams. We got the 49ers losing to Kirk Cousins on Monday. Dallas had a great week. Why? Because they didn't even play. So just keep that in mind, guys. Patriots beat the Bills. We were bashing the Patriots the last couple of weeks, and they beat the Bills, who beat the Dolphins. Right. So, man, we got a lot to talk about.
Any given Sunday, we've been saying that. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then you guys know Eagles, Dolphins, 31-17. We got we got two guests that will be joining us on this episode. They are from the Huddle podcast. We got Mr. Frank the Tank and Joey. They'll be joining us. Joey's a big Dolphins fan. Frank is a big Eagles fan. So I know they had a lot to talk about. And guess what? They're going to do it here with us. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, as always, we're going to do our week 8 predictions. And we're going to talk about these games that are coming up for week 8, which I'm very excited for. But you guys know what time it is. This is the Steagles podcast where we talk about
all Steelers,
all Eagles, all NFL. Let's go, baby.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So, Steelers had a bye week. So, it's only right that we start off with the Steelers.
Right. Let's do that.
Steelers beat the Rams. I was watching the second half of this game, but I want you to tell me, because obviously you watched the whole damn thing. Give me your opinions, man. You guys won. It's another win, right? It's another win.
A win is a win, so we got to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the wins. But, there's always room for improvement.
Of course.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But once again, if it's not for our defense and our great players, or one of the best players in the history of this game, Watt.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So he's always impacting the game like a few people can impact the game. So I'm not saying this just because he's a Steeler. It's because I think everybody will recognize that he is one of the best players that we've seen in a long, long time.
I agree.
So, he always a difference maker. But, we also saw a lot of the same mistakes and a lot of the same inconsistency. For the most part, I see it's bad play after bad play after bad play after bad play, and then we have one big lucky play and things change.
Yeah.
But there's no consistency, and there's not a good start. There's no trust. I think players and the offensive coordinator still I don't think that has made any improvements.
Now.
So I'm happy for the win. But on to the next one, there's still a lot of things that we got to improve.
I agree 100%. So you guys get this win. Obviously, you guys had the bye week, so there's other teams that got ahead on you guys. Do you see yourself still having a chance to win your division?
Definitely. I will still pick the Steelers to win the division. I always say that the Bengals are a good team, and the Ravens are a good team, sometimes a great team. The Browns, everybody knows they have a great defense, and they could be a good team, but they're all flawed as well.
Yeah.
And I think the Steelers have talent, and we just need a lot of luck like we've had lately, because that's the main reason we're winning games is because we've been getting lucky, and the other team is not playing to their best potential. So those are the things.
So what's your record now? You guys are 4-2?
4-2, yeah.
So imagine you guys don't drop that game to the Niners, which was again, I gave you guys a pass for that game because that's the first game of the season, and Niners are coming off a nasty taste in their mouth from the year before when the Eagles kicked them. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're going to make the Steelers podcast feel bad because we beat them, so they take it off on my buddy here and the Steelers on week 1. So, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But for real though, I feel like you guys, as far as the division part goes, I feel like you guys do have a chance, and I think the Bengals are going to tell us what's going on this week coming up. I'm going to give you guys a little preview. We got 49ers and Bengals coming up. We're going to be talking about that later on, but that game right there is going to make a big difference on what's going on with you guys as well, because if they lose that game, they stay down, even though I know Burrow can come back and win a couple games in a row, but that makes that margin even more. And then, of course, the Ravens are on a streak right now. Somebody got to put a hold on to that.
Right.
And then the Browns, I don't believe in the Browns. They're going to fall off at some point. And I think it's going to be a battle between you guys and the Ravens, and then you got Burrow in the third, and then Browns will end up being the last place because I think Deshaun Watson is actually hurt. I don't think he's going to be out even longer now, I believe. Or he's progressing faster, something like that I read. So I am not worried about the Browns. So I do think that this is a three-headed horse race at the moment, but I feel at some point it'll just be the Ravens and the Steelers.
The Browns have a lot going on, and since we talked about this after Chubb going down, I don't expect a lot from them. I don't expect for them to do the best they can because they lost their best player or one of the best players, so that's going to impact them. What I was not counting on was those two running backs, Ford and is it Hunt? Right, Ford and Hunt. Yeah. Those are two solid running backs. So at least they can, bounce back from that devastating injury. But I don't think that they're gonna beat the Ravens or the Steelers. I really think that the Steelers can win the division, and then the Ravens will get the wild card. The Bengals, I think that they didn't have a good start, and at some point they're gonna stumble again. And I don't think they're gonna be there when it really matters.
Yeah, I think Lamar had a really good game versus the Lions last week, but I think that's just the one game. He has been playing well, and they've been dropping the ball, so I'll give him that. But I still feel like they're going to face a little bit more adversity going down the road, and I think they might not be equipped to handle it. In my opinion, maybe people are looking at us like, "What the hell are you talking about? The Ravens are good. They got, you know what I mean?"
Talk about the Ravens because you know how I feel.
Of course, and I hate the Ravens too.
I feel like the Ravens are like I said, dangerous team.
Yeah, of course.
Now with this game with the Steelers, talking a little bit about that, the Rams really they had a bad start. Cup was dropping passes. You know, Cup is one of the best receivers.
Yep.
So he's dropping passes early in the game. So I know that affects how the game is gonna go.
What about Puka?
No, Puka Nacua, that's his name. One of the coolest names that we ever heard in any professional sport. Yeah. So he is a monster. He is a monster because he's young and he's a complete player. He looks physical. He's fast, quick. So he's looking really good. Those two guys are great.
Yeah.
Cup and him together, that's like, that kept them in the game. But the Rams missed field goals, right?
Yep.
Our defense was coming, but I don't think the Rams played their best game.
No, I think the Rams are still trying to find themselves, trying to get Cooper back in the rhythm, and then you got Puka trying to get both of them. Right. Obviously you don't want Puka to come down from his performance, but at the end of the day, we see it's a good problem to have because we have the same problem. You got two potential number one wide receivers, two
number ones.
Yeah,
so
they
are both number ones.
That's a good problem to have.
Right.
However, they need to figure it out if they want to win some games, and they're in a tough division if you ask me, right? Because you got Seattle, you got the Niners, and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, right? So Seattle and Niners alone, right there. I don't see the Rams catching up to them. I'll be honest. No. I think it'll be Niners, Seattle, Rams, and then Cardinals in that same order.
The running game was looking decent against the Steelers. Sometimes right from the snap, you could see that they had lanes and that they were going to get like 6, 7,
they lost
8
their
yards.
rookie. They lost their rookie, I think, too. I don't even think he played in that game. Kyron Thompson or something like that. The rookie was playing really, really well, and he got hurt. So
the running
that might be a part. Yeah, might be a part of why their game plan and everything wasn't.
But still, expected. I saw a lot of good things from them. Like I said, like from the snap, you could see, and I'm not saying the Rams were great because I think it's more on a part of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it looked that the Steelers were out of position. If you know this game just by watching the game, especially if you coach or you play, you know that if the D-line is head up instead of inside, or you know what I'm saying, where you line up is so important.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looked like from the start of the play, it looked like they were out of position because the lanes were right there, and you knew that they were gonna get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. When you get like 10 yards, around 10 yards. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 yards in a run, unacceptable. That means you guys suck, or you were out of position. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tackle, or you're out of position, and that happened a lot. That happened a lot this Sunday, though.
Yeah.
So that's something that we definitely got to fix. And the wide receivers, the defensive backs of the Steelers, they don't like to support the run, or it doesn't look like they want to support the run defense. But these guys are open all the time, and I know they're both great, but they're open like Open to the point that they catch the ball. There's nobody around them. They can fall down, then get up, and then somebody tackles them. Yeah. These guys are open. I asked my son, like, are they open? And he says 100% of the time. They're open all the time. Like, they are beat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So then we have Watt. He get an interception. That changed the whole game.
That did.
But he was playing defensive back.
He was playing coverage. He wasn't playing
linebacker you know what I'm saying? So he looking better than the defensive backs that we have.
Yeah.
And then he made the biggest play of the game. He made as usual. And then
last 2 weeks he's been the one, getting those.
If it's not for him, things will be different.
That's true.
But once again, it's bad play, bad call, bad play. And then Pickett looks like sometimes backup quarterback. He doesn't know where the blitz is coming from. Then he doesn't know what to do with the blitz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then he just swing to the running back twice when you're in important moments of the game. So this happens a lot. Bad play, bad call. And then out of nowhere, Johnson, boom, for 60.
But that's all it takes sometimes, man.
I'll take it.
But you're right. You take the win, but that's not going to win you a championship.
That's not going to win the division. That's not going to win you, the games that matter.
You're right.
And that's the only thing that I'm really still disappointed is like this looks like luck. It looks like the other teams are falling off. They're not finishing. The only thing I'll say is they did finish the game.
Yeah.
Because they came back, they tied the game, they went up, and then they got the stops. So
that's a positive thing to build on. Yeah.
They finished the game, so I'll give them that.
For
sure. But still we gotta clean this up.
No, I agree 100%. One more game we want to talk to before we get our guest on, and so we can speak about the Eagles game, which I know you guys are dying to talk hear and talk about or comment down low. But Bills lose to the Patriots. I think it was by 2 points. What is going on, man? I know I talked to Sean today earlier. I called him. I just wanted to get his side of it because obviously I didn't watch the game. So obviously injuries, not having all these key players that they don't have at the moment hurts. Von Miller only had 4 snaps coming back from whatever injury he had. He only played on 4 snaps. So, like, why even put him out there?
He should retire by now because if he's not going to be there when you need him.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. So you got that going on. I told them that I still feel like Diggs and Allen, that's not 100% yet. I feel like all that drama that was going on from last year, off season, training camp, and supposedly they squashed it and they're good. The more they keep losing, I feel like that's going to creep back around. And that's going to be a conversation to have.
100%.
And I'm glad we don't have that problem.
You're going to make me talk about the Bills. I like them now because of my boy Sean.
Yeah.
Things change. Now I got more love and respect for them, even for Allen. Yeah. So I don't want to talk about them. But
no, but you guys speak the truth. I don't want you to come up here and cap. I want you to speak the truth.
I'm just saying, keep going.
No, but yeah, so in my opinion, I feel like the Bills are that window is closing. The opportunity to get to an AFC championship and maybe possibly get to the Super Bowl is closing because all those other teams are getting better. The Ravens are playing good. The Chiefs are doing what the Chiefs do. Who else you got over there?
Number 1 team.
Who else would I say is on that side?
Well, honestly,
Burrow's not living it up.
It will be the Ravens. It will be the Dolphins. It will be.
I don't want to talk about the Dolphins right now because the Dolphins to me are frauds. Okay, but we'll leave that there. We'll talk with our guys. I want Joey to defend his team, so I don't want to talk about the Dolphins right now.
Like if you say Dolphins or Steelers, who's a better team?
Obviously, right now.
So the Steelers are not even in that tier.
So
the Dolphins are on that second tier.
How many teams you would say this year that you guys play that are like high caliber teams?
The Steelers?
Yeah, you played the Niners and lost.
Yeah, only the Niners.
All the other teams you feel like were mediocre or worse?
The Ravens. The Ravens.
You guys lost to the Ravens too, right?
No, we beat the Ravens.
You guys beat the Ravens. Okay, so look at that. You guys actually beat a top 5 team right now in the league, in the Ravens, right? The Dolphins have not. The Dolphins lost to the Bills, lost to the Eagles, and look at all their other matchups. They were combined for like the wins for all the other games that they played. Those teams, if you add their records together, was like 8 for 25 or something like that. Like horrible.
But you're looking at too much like winning losses. You gotta look at how many points they scored. Can they score 40, 50 on most teams?
See, but to me that's
they will. They will.
Why they didn't do that? Why they didn't do that with the Eagles?
Come on, you're talking about a
let's-
different team.
Listen. Dolphins.
gonna
We're
talk about
gonna
that.
pause
Come
this
on.
because I need Joey to be here for this one, just because I want him to defend his team, and I also want to talk my shit because I feel like they are not
But you don't
what
have to.
they look like. They do have
I didn't
speed
say
guys.
they're top 3, and I didn't say they're top 5. I've been saying my top 3 teams from the gate, and that has never changed, and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
But so if we're talking about top 5, now maybe they can come in the conversation.
Who?
The Dolphins.
No.
Maybe. I said maybe.
Cut it
I
out,
said maybe.
bro.
The thing is that who
I need to get a
who are
button
you
for
gonna
capping.
put there though?
What, 5?
Oh my
What you
God.
mean?
At 4.
At 4? Okay, I'll tell you right now.
No. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, you got Chiefs, you got the Eagles, you got the Niners, you got the Ravens, and possibly the Cowboys. I'm taking the Cowboys over the Dolphins, believe that or not. And I don't even like the Cowboys.
This is insane. Now you're sounding. Now you're
why?
sounding like a hater.
No, because you got a healthy Cowboys defense.
Also, you're a Cowboy lover.
Is better than
You're a Cowboy
healthy
lover
Dolphins
now.
defense, in my opinion. That's just me.
If you're looking about if you're talking about weaknesses, all the teams have weaknesses. But
well, according to Micah Parsons, the Eagles have no weaknesses. But go ahead.
yeah, but what he's saying is the same thing that I've been saying, that you guys are superior in a lot of different positions and good coaching, so you should dominate. That's what I've been saying the whole time. So and he's just trying to troll too, though.
I mean,
he's gonna talk his trash, and
course.
he's gonna try to find a way to be relevant, like, because the Cowboys like to do that in general.
Yeah.
And but he's a baller; he can do whatever he wants. But the thing is that the Dolphins, I know they can challenge any of the best teams. They just play one of the best teams, and then the Bills, division rivalry game and all that stuff. So it's
that
thing can happen.
all the division games are going to be
but
tough, especially us next week. Like all the division games are tough.
Right. But you were talking about the Bills. That's how we ended up here.
Yeah, Patriots, Bills.
You're talking about the Bills.
They lost to the Patriots by 2.
This is what I gotta say about the Bills. You saying that the window is closing.
Yeah.
And I said that window never opened. Okay? That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying.
You know why I don't agree?
What like you saying, they haven't even started losing games. They haven't been fighting. And it's still early. Injuries are gonna happen. And once again, Sean, you're my boy. I'm not trying to hate on your team though, but this is how I feel. They are not gonna mentally, they're not tough enough though.
Yeah, so
that's how I feel.
So
always.
I'll say I'll let you finish and I'll say my piece and then we're gonna move on to the interview.
No, I'm done. I'm
You're
done. I'm not trying to be negative.
All I want to say, he ain't being negative. You're being real.
You're being real. Window, so I'm saying like
I do believe there was a window. The year they made it to the AFC Championship,
they have a window now because Aaron Rodgers is down. So the Jets are not even competition, or they look like they were not gonna be competition. So
window for what? Win your division or window to win a Super Bowl? I'm talking about winning a Super Bowl.
Oh come on, they don't even live in the house. They don't live inside the house. How you gonna open a window?
Now he's talking shit, Sean. Now he's talking shit.
I thought you were talking about the division.
We're gonna leave that one there, man. That one's getting spicy right there. We're gonna have to bring Sean back on for. We will have Sean on for the Bills. Eagles. So we'll bring this conversation back up. But up next we have the Huddle Podcast joining us here for this episode, man. I'm super. This group of these two guys started podcasting the same time that we did. I'm giving them tips. Giving me tips. Like we've been helping each other out, and I'm just very honored to have these guys join my podcast today. And let's get them connected. We'll be right back. All right, man. We are back, and we have Joey and Mr. Frank the Tank from the Huddle Podcast, and they're joining us here. How you guys doing, man? Appreciate you guys joining us here today.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good, man. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Real quick, for every new guest that we bring on the podcast, I like to ask them a couple questions. So, Mr. Frank the Tank, I will start with you. Real quick, can you please tell me how did you become an Eagles fan? Like how that came about?
Yeah, so my family is actually from South Philly, all of them. So that was a big thing for my family growing up, whether it be Flyers, hockey, Phillies baseball, or especially the Eagles football. And it was a big thing that my parents would do with their friends, gather together every weekend, even have their own flags and throw flags at the TV and stuff to reenact it. You know what I mean? Try to act like they're the refs or something.
Right.
So it's been like that ever since I was a kid. And like I said, my whole family is all Philly. And football is the main sport. So ever since I could remember, probably about 10 years old, maybe even younger than that, I've been watching it with my father and my mother. So been sticking to that ever since.
Yeah, respect, man. That sounds a lot I wouldn't say I watched it with my parents, but I definitely had family members, big time. Like my uncle is a big time Eagles fan, and that kind of guided me. And again, I was surrounded by all the Eagles stuff. I lived in Camden, New Jersey, 15 minutes over the bridge, so it was literally Eagles everywhere, bleeding green. So, all right, so that's how you became an Eagles fan. What is your best experience as an Eagle fan thus far?
It's got to be the first Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Nick Foles pulling it off, me not thinking he was going to do jack crap.
Foles is the GOAT. He's a GOAT for that.
I was a Carson Wentz lover. I really, when he had that MVP season, I was a huge Wentz fan. When he got hurt, I had no faith in Foles. But he pulled it around. He changed my mind. And when we won that Super Bowl, I mean, like, I'll never forget that. Like, I have my wife now recorded me that night. Like, I was jumping up and down. Like, I was grabbing, like, screaming. Like, oh, man, I couldn't even, like, contain myself. How happy I was.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was feeling the same way. I was upset I couldn't call out of work to go to the parade. So I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I did go to the parade, and I probably, I said this last year, if they beat the Chiefs, I was not going to go back because how crowded it was.
Man, but that's the whole point. You could have only said, "Hey, I did that twice in my life." You did it once. That could have been the second time, and we might not even win a Super Bowl after that. Knock on wood, but you never know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was so crazy when I went. It was like 10 degrees that day too.
Oh, and it was grease poles. You had grease poles out there. People still trying to climb them damn poles.
Yeah, oh yeah, I helped somebody climb the pole.
Oh no! Some
guy was like, "Yo, man, help me climb the pole," and I was like, "Okay."
Feeling he's wild.
Hey yo, that's awesome. So Mr. Frank the Tank took part in the pole climbing, even though he didn't do the actual climbing. He helped somebody. All right, that's a real Eagles fan right there for you. All right, man. So I appreciate that you answering my two questions, and I'm gonna have the same questions for Mr. Joey, big time Dolphins fan. Man, I've been watching your content. I've been following your podcast with Frank, and you definitely a big fan there. And I didn't steal it. I gave you credit, but I told them when the Jets when they lost Aaron Rodgers, and you said what the Jets had to say, done, or some shit like that. Bro, I was losing it. So I love that. I loved it. I was losing it, bro. Like I had to give you credit, and I brought it up on the podcast. I'm not sure if you caught it or not, but I definitely brought that shit up, man. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. That was definitely a controversial statement you made there. But how did you become a Dolphins fan? Because from what I know that Frank told me, you don't even live in Florida, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I'm actually about 35 minutes outside of Cincinnati. So,
so you're not a Bengals fan?
No, you can definitely expect, a lot of crap talk from the Bengals fans as of recently that I usually get. So, I started when I was like at least 5 or 6. There's actually a picture I showed Frank. I actually have a Dan Marino jersey. I'm in a all Dolphins decked out, nice, with a helmet, holding up number 1. Basically, I was watching games with my dad and my brothers, and the Dolphins came up on the screen. I can't remember who they were playing, and I just asked them, like, who's the team in the aqua and the
colors, those colors.
The colors, yeah. I really like those, Dad. And then, that's Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins, and that said it right there.
That was it.
Yeah.
You ran with the Dolphins from that moment on.
Yeah, I guess, unfortunately, right?
And I feel like I'm doing a great job with my son because he's a huge Eagles fan now. He got a hoodie every time. I told him when you watch this podcast, if you watch my other podcast, I wear this big Eagles chain, and I told him if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I'm going to let him wear it to school. So he's looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's looking forward to that. So I'm hoping that everything turns out good and that I'll be able to let him wear it to school. I can't do if just the Eagles win because then he'll be wearing it to school every week. But that's not.
That'll be a problem.
Nah, but for real. So give me what's your favorite or not favorite? What's your best experience as a Dolphins fan? Like I'm sure you've been to a game. Have you been to a game yet?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't have a lot because the treacherous 20 plus years, but
yeah,
I did make my way down there actually a couple years ago. My wife and I was actually asked her to be my wife down there.
Oh.
So, yeah, right on the beach. I was going to ask her after the game, try and get down on the field, but it was like 90 degrees and it was too hot. So I ended up doing the next day. But I think my first time at Hard Rock Stadium, it was when Adam Gase was just left the Dolphins for the Jets. So we were playing the Jets. We were 0-6, I believe, at the time. And we ended up winning.
Oh.
And I kid you not, the whole stadium in unison, the last 2 minutes were chanting "Fire Gaze," and it was the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I bet. Everybody
cool.
chanting the one thing, and especially when you feel the same way.
That's pretty
Oh, it's got to be awesome.
Exactly.
That's sports right there. That's what sports will do, man.
Yeah, that's probably the only memory, the only good memory, to be honest.
So
of being a Dolphins fan.
I don't want to just skip over the fact. I know we're talking football. You say you proposed down there. So let me guess. The ring was the shape of a dolphin with an aqua diamond on it. Let me just guess. It had to be. It had to be.
I think my wife would have probably killed me if that was the case.
That's funny.
That is so funny, man. Well, man, I'm glad to hear that, man. That brought some joy over here. Made me laugh a little bit.
I'm sorry. When I think about Dolphins and rings and Dan Marino and stuff like that, I cannot do anything else but think about Ace Ventura. So
Ace Ventura.
Yeah, that's one of the best movies ever, man.
So
That's crazy. You brought that up. I completely forgot about that. The dolphin that went missing and all that. I completely forgot about that.
Laces out.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
Is
Bro,
special.
That's a good connection there, man. You really, that's pretty cool.
Bro.
All right, man. So that's all fun talk, man. But I'm ready to talk some shit now.
Oh boy.
Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir.
Let's get it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what we're
Yes,
here
sir.
for. That's what we're here for.
You know what time it is, man. We had Eagles, Dolphins, and I held off from talking about it in the beginning of my podcast because I wanted to talk with you guys because you had a Dolphin and an Eagles fan. So I'm gonna get both of your points of views. Man, this game was something else. How did you feel before the game, Frank and Joey? Frank, go first. How did you feel before the game? All the hype and everything that was going on. Eagles coming off a loss. Dolphins, on a streak. How do you feel?
And what were you expecting from that game?
I was expecting what I told Joey. Me and him agreed. I expected very close game. I told him it was going to be something like whoever had the most time of possession. I felt like was going to win the game because both exploding offenses and both questionary defenses going on with injuries. When I was doing the rankings, they were pretty even on defense. I felt, except I felt like our defensive line was a little better. I told him I don't know much about the Dolphins because I feel like they're not talked about a lot.
Right.
But I was concerned because of our secondary. I thought if Jalen couldn't keep up with the offense that they were scoring, I felt like we were going to lose. But I knew this was like a big redemption game.
Mm-hmm. And then
I
Hurts with the
this is
turnovers.
a big moment to prove hey, we're still a legit team.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I was happy how they played. I was really surprised in a good way. I thought the defense did really well, a lot better than I thought they would do. Jalen still didn't look perfect, but he still looked like Jalen, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
They played smart. They held the ball. They kept Tua and Tyreek off the field as much as possible, which I said from the get-go that is how you probably would beat them the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a very good game. I told him possibly a Super Bowl preview it could have been.
So I have a comment on that, but I want Joey to go. Go ahead, Joey. How did you feel before the game, and what did you expect to happen?
Just bouncing off what Frankie said, we discussed earlier, it was going to be a heck of a game, probably one of the games of the year. I was very confident. I thought we could go into Philly. I think I had them losing when I made the prediction earlier before the season started, but I felt confident. We were feeling good. We were just the Eagles' defensive line is so good, and I don't think it gets talked about enough.
Correct.
I mean,
I agree.
Jalen Carter. I told Frank this. He was going to be my defensive player of the year or rookie of the year. I can't remember which one, but that man is an absolute beast.
Right, and he's not the only one. Yeah, he's
no,
not the only one there. So you're right. The D line is sick.
Yeah, the motion didn't really help. We did everything we could with Tyreek. The running game was just not there at all.
Right.
Except for that one Mostert run for
24 yards.
25 yards or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I'm going to get into it, not making any excuses. 10 penalties for 70 yards while Philadelphia didn't get called for any.
Correct.
I've never seen that in my life. I'm not saying that's why we lost. I'm saying it's maybe
but you're right
part
about
of the
that.
reason.
That's
So
a fact,
Part of
though.
the reason they missed 5 hold calls, 3 pass interference. I don't know. I was telling Frankie, I'm like, this is a little shady to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and in my opinion, I did see a lot of that controversy they were talking about, but I feel like, and I could be wrong because I was having a really good time at this tailgate, so I could have been hallucinating, but I swear I could have saw that the Eagles got called for 2 calls, but at the same time, the Dolphins had a call too, so they offset and they were never counted against us but I could be wrong because I think one of them was on a tush push. Or the brotherly shove, but again, I could be wrong.
They were both off sides, which
They
I've
were
never
both
seen
set on the
before.
line.
Yeah.
But the center's allowed to do that.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It was the center's hand that was there. I think they confused the center's hand with something else.
Yeah.
I remember Jason Kelsey was talking about that in his podcast. I'm sure you guys watched that.
Yeah.
So, and then back to Frank's point about a possible Super Bowl matchup. I don't know, man. I think you're disrespecting the Chiefs for a second. Like the Chiefs has been pulling out these games, and they lost Tyreek Hill a couple years ago. So the fact that they're still a top contending team with just arguably the best tight end to ever play the game, and then arguably the best quarterback to ever play the game. Those 2 pieces are still getting the job done. And I know those are 2 huge pieces, but there's a lot of other players, 52 players on a team, and they're still finding a way to get it done, and they're winning games.
You can't count out Taylor Swift either. I'm telling you.
Yo, I didn't think you were gonna bring her up, but yes, you're completely right. Taylor Swift and all the Swifties have been tearing that thing up over there, bro. Like I cannot understand or comprehend, but I liked our Kelsey Swift combination better than their Kelsey Swift.
Yep.
You know
That's
what I'm
the
saying?
only combination I care about.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like for the Dolphins to be a Super Bowl team, they need to beat the teams that challenge them. They need to beat the Bills. They need to beat the Eagles. They need to beat those teams that are giving them a hard time, because I feel like they're just beating up on all these sorry teams. And just like the Eagles last year, I can't give them credit, even though I was taking credit because I'm biased and that was my team. But a lot of people were telling me they can't give the Eagles credit because they didn't play nobody. Right. And the people that and said they weren't like battle tested. At least you guys can say you guys played 2 games. You guys saw 2 really good defenses that you guys can build on that and move forward. But at this very moment right now, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a Super Bowl preview. How do you feel about that, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, that's to your take. I think that's a very good take. We'll find out here in a couple weeks. I know
You play the Chiefs, right?
Dolphins. Yeah, they have the Chiefs in Germany,
That's gonna be
8:30.
a
So
hell of
that'll
a
be a little
game.
bit,
A hell of a game.
mimosas action.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
But I think that's what maybe will change my mind to see if they can go all the way, because that's a big game, even if it is in Germany.
Yeah.
They have to beat the Chiefs. They have to beat these playoff contenders.
Yeah.
They have the Bills again. They have the Cowboys at the end of the schedule.
have the Ravens.
Yeah.
But if they really want to challenge, they need to beat the Chiefs. And then I can start believing that, yeah, we can, beat these tough opponents and not beat somebody 70-20.
What I will say is I can see the Dolphins winning their division, and being and hosting the first round playoff game or whatever in Miami. I can definitely see that happening. They remind me of the Vikings last year, except the Vikings last year were winning.
The Vikings. That's
hold on. The
Vikings.
Vikings last year won their division. They were like 12-5 or something like that, or 13-4. I think 12-5. But they looked like a good team. They were winning games by 1 possession. That was a scary thing. So that's the part I'm not comparing to the Dolphins. What I am comparing is the success they had and how it ended.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of like where the Dolphins are this year, but look at the Dolphins next year with the full healthy team, and then you start bringing in a 1 piece here, 1 piece there, and you guys might be in motion to possibly make a Super Bowl. But at this very moment,
basically you're saying that they are not ready.
They're not ready.
Hey,
at the moment, that can change by the end of the season.
That's what he's saying. He's just throwing shots at you. You know what I'm saying?
it's not a shot. I'm sure he agrees, though.
This is not your year. That's what he's saying.
I'm sure he agrees.
You're making great points.
He's agreeing with you.
Listen,
he knows. He got to wait until next year.
Go ahead.
I'm just happy that we are out of, at least to me, the mediocrity stage.
Agreed.
That we have in the last 20 years.
You got a hell of a quarterback, right? I'm not saying he's the best in the league or top 5. He's probably cracking that top 5, hopefully by the end of the year. And then you have a number 1, solidified number 1 wide receiver in Tyreek Hill, and you have possibly a 1B and Waddle. And then you got Mostert and A-Chain who just got hurt. So imagine next year when you get everybody's back healthy. Both of your cornerbacks are back. They're healthy. Imagine just having all those pieces next year to start off. I would feel a lot better about the Dolphins next year than I do right at this instant. That's all. It's not a shade. It's not dissing the Dolphins. It's just my personal opinion. I feel like that's where they're at. I do believe they're headed in the right direction. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you are, but he's just saying that you have no shot, even though you're heading in the right direction.
Hey, don't stir the pot now. Don't stir the pot.
Hey, trust me, I'm gonna be the first one talking trash about the Steelers. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep it real. Now, the only thing is like. And I know what you're saying about the Vikings and the Dolphins and that comparison that you were making. That makes sense. And I think everybody agrees. But the Vikings, they haven't been good for the last, I think, like 10 years. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, even
right. He just said that though. He literally said that. I didn't say that.
Even if they have a decent record, you can tell by looking at them that they're not good. The Dolphins, they don't look like that. The Dolphins look like they are good, and they're heading in the right direction. For sure.
Well,
but
how many out of all the games they played this year? How many games do you think they look good? And they played 7 games so far.
They scored 72.
There's been 5 games where I were like, "Damn, right? They look good." And then the other 2 games, I was worried.
But okay,
they didn't score more than 20, and they averaging 30-something points a game, I think, and they didn't even get over 20 versus the Bills or 17 versus the Eagles. That's my concern is when you see those defenses. Go ahead.
Okay, you're talking about defense. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about teams. How about we do our top 5 real quick, and then we can continue with this conversation.
So all 4 of us will give our top 5 teams, and before we start debating it, we'll just all go around real quick and give our top 5. So Ed, go ahead first. Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so my top 5 teams, obviously, and it's going to be fucking biased because I'm an Eagles fan and my name is DJ Baez. So
you say you had the Cowboys, so I'm not going to forget about that.
Hold on, killer, calm down. So I got Eagles first, I got Chiefs second, I got 49ers third, I got the Ravens in fourth, and then I got the Cowboys at 5. And then the Dolphins would have been 5. Had they won one of those 2 games. If Dolphins would be 6-1 right now, Dolphins would definitely be top 5 team in my opinion right now. They're literally the next team down. So all you need is Cowboys to come off this bye and lose, and Dolphins are back in there. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But go ahead. What's your top 5, Ed?
No, I'm gonna let.
Okay, go ahead, Joey. Joey or Frank, you guys choose. Whoever wants to go first.
Frank,
go ahead, Joey.
Okay. I think my one right now, I got to go Philly. Everything about them, even though Hurts hasn't showed his full potential,
that's the scary part.
They're still winning games. So Philly's my 1, Kansas City's my 2, San Francisco's probably my 3,
but not with Sam Darnold. Well, go ahead.
yeah, right. Baltimore's my 4, and then I think Miami is still in there. I think they're 5. You can make a case for I guess maybe Jacksonville now trying to sneak in there after a couple tough weeks. They're getting their stuff together too. So I mean, make a toss up for Miami or Jacksonville. But hey, what about Pittsburgh though?
I like that list. I like your list a lot though.
What about Pittsburgh?
What about I will have them like 8 or something like that, to be
top
honest
10?
with you.
You have Steelers top 10 at least?
Yeah, because it's the Steelers, you know what I'm saying?
I would say top 10,
but
hold on,
now.
Before you go, let Frank get his 5 and then you can take over. Go ahead, Frank, give us your 5 real quick.
So after last week's game and with the Eagles picking up one of the best safeties.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that yet. We didn't even bring that up yet. Oh, man.
Because I just watched this man's highlights before this podcast, and this dude is a freaking monster. Just want to say that now. He knows how to tackle. He's got the most interceptions since he's came into the league.
Yeah.
The biggest thing the defense needed that is already dangerous when healthy. So that brings me a lot more.
And he used to play with not the same talent around him. So playing with this so much talent is going to make him better,
even better.
You know what I'm saying? So
he's going to want to play even harder because he knows his team is already trying.
He's going to play for a reason.
They have something to play for. Right now, I feel bad for Terrell Edmonds, who went from being 6-1 to 2-4.
And he wasn't even on the team that long.
No, he wasn't.
That's life.
But yeah, so go ahead. You got Eagles first.
I'm gonna say the Birds first. Just because of I don't really see a big weakness now in our team other than maybe the injuries, but that's with any team and that's part of the game. That's just what happens. And I will go with the Chiefs, number 2, just because they're always that team that's up there. They beat us last year.
Yep.
Number 3 is I'm always going back and forth for number 3 because it's like I was telling Joe before we talked. Every team this year is so different and weird because every team can be beatable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's usually every team every year that you see. It's like, wow, I don't know if we could beat this team. They don't really have a weakness. This year it's different. Every team actually does have a weakness.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Niners probably still number 3 when Purdy is
Healthy.
in the zone. What's up?
No, I said when he's healthy, when Purdy's healthy.
When he's playing
Brock-
normal, if all he got to do is play normal football, and they're
Yeah.
gonna win because of the team that he has. So,
And I'm gonna go with I do like Miami what they're doing. I'm gonna go with Miami number 4 actually.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And it's not just because of him. I really do think that they have something special this year. And I'll probably say number 5. I like the Ravens, what they're doing right now. Their defense is actually a lot better that I heard on the radio today. They're only allowing teams to score no more than 14 points a game, which is actually crazy. So I got Ravens as number 5.
It's a good stat.
I like that. Actually, I have the same teams.
Same exact order?
Yes, and you're talking about the Ravens allowing 14 points. The Steelers couldn't score 14 points until a few weeks ago. So they didn't average they averaged maybe 15 points per game for the last, I think, 2 years or something like that. So that tells you what type of team the Ravens are or can be, and the team that the Steelers are sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I wouldn't have them 5 or 6. The Steelers, or maybe 7. So yeah, I will have the Eagles. I've been always saying the Eagles, Chiefs, and Niners. I actually had the Chiefs, Eagles, and Niners in that order first. Now it changed, and then the next 2 will be the Dolphins and then the Ravens. I think that the Ravens are. They could be a top 3 team. Right now they haven't shown it yet. At some point, I always said a quarterback like Lamar Jackson with those weapons around him, he doesn't have to be great. He just needs a few weapons and just the threat of the running ability and the passing ability. Yeah. It's unfair. It's unfair. All the teams fear something like that when it's working and when you have weapons.
Yeah.
So that will be my 5th team. And the Dolphins, just that explosive offense is scary. And if you can score 50, you can win a lot of games. The other 2 teams or 3 teams, I know that we were only talking top 5, but you guys mentioned the Jaguars and
Cowboys in there?
The Cowboys, and then maybe I'll have the Steelers. But those teams are all better. Not only are better, I think they are playing better as well.
Yeah. Agreed. I agreed 100%. So with that being said, man, we're going to wrap up that Eagles-Dolphins game, put that behind us. Joey's our love, bro. You already know that. But
Always.
we have games coming up, right? You guys said you guys got that Chiefs next week, right? Is that the overseas game? That's next week, right?
Yeah, that's next week. We got the Patriots.
You got Patriots first. So you get a chance to have, I don't want to say easy game because the Patriots are the most confusing team in the fucking league, bro. I don't get it.
Absolutely.
I do not get it. And it's a divisional game. So that's the other thing.
I'm back on the bandwagon.
Luckily, it's at home.
I'm back
Are
with
you
the
picking
Patriots.
are you picking the Patriots?
Don't
do that. Don't do that. You talking about I'm disrespecting Joey? Yeah, he's talking about I'm disrespecting you, Joey. He's disrespecting.
I'm sorry, Whack Jones. The disrespect.
Wait, hold on. Say it again. Say it again, please. If you say it again, I'm gonna have to change my mind. That sounded
Whack
funniest.
Jones, bro. You picking Whack Jones over Tua? Over Tyreek Hill? Over Waddle?
Come on.
Over Mostert?
No, I need my cousin Kevin to come back.
So you making this personal. You're making this personal now, man.
Until he comes back, I'm not going with them, so I'm going with the Dolphins.
So we had a Patriots fan in the very first episode preseason, I think it was, or it was the week 1 of the season. I think when Eagles played the Patriots, week 1, we had a Patriots fan that came on, and that Patriots fan was hallucinating on Mac Jones. He was talking about how Bill Belichick was better.
Real fan. Don't listen to this guy.
I told him,
shit.
Come on, man. You can pull up the episode, bro. Week 1 is episode number 4, I believe. Week 1, we had Kevin on there, and he was saying that between Brady and Belichick, the reason all that success happened was more so because of Belichick than it was Brady. Like we were asking him who has more responsibility in all those and that
Who's
success.
more responsible, right?
And he said Belichick, and I said Brady. I said Brady went the first year to another team and got them a Super Bowl. Just left and got them a Super Bowl. Sometimes it's the organization. Sometimes it's that leader in the locker room. I feel like Belichick is a good coach, but what has Belichick been without Brady? I'm pretty sure he's a 500 coach. So
they fell off. Basically, they fell off. He fell off. His coaching staff fell off because they are coaching out of position, basically. So yeah, I was talking about the Patriots, guys. It was a joke. I'm not gonna pick them.
All right,
So
all right, there we go. So,
come on,
so Dolphins. Ed got Dolphins. I'm sure Joey has Dolphins. Frank, who you got?
Dolphins, yeah.
Definitely Dolphins.
Dolphins. I got Dolphins too. I'm hoping this is not another upset or some dumb shit. But all right. So
Tyreek did not practice today though.
That's not good.
Tyreek, yeah, it's a hip injury.
Oh, okay.
If they win, I'm getting Whack Jones.
You gonna get a Whack Jones jersey? Don't say that because I'm gonna hold you to it, and I'm gonna make you wear it too.
I will hold you to that.
Yeah, I will make you wear that shit on the podcast next episode too. All right, so we got Philly, and who we play next week? We're playing the Washington. Yeah, so this is our second meeting. Our first meeting, the motherfuckers took us to overtime in the last 30 seconds of the game. They fucking scored a touchdown when we thought we had the game won. And we go to overtime, and then luckily we got the job done in overtime. But that could have been another loss for us. That would have been detrimental to our mindset because we lost to them last year, and they fucked up our streak. So there's a lot going in there mentally. So you got Eagles at Washington or at Commanders. What are your picks? I got Eagles. What's your pick, Ed?
I got the Eagles. I don't trust the Commanders.
Joey, Frank?
Ever.
Eagles.
Do I dare?
Nah, I already know you're gonna say Eagles. Don't even try.
No, do I dare though? It's a divisional game.
Yeah.
It is. But if there was a team,
say it with your chest.
I would not be surprised if it was a Commanders, just because But I don't know. Heineke and Howell are probably in the same boat. So I mean, I got to give him some credit. He's been sacked the most in the league, I think, too. So
yeah, that is true.
Go ahead.
You don't know how bad I want to say the Commanders, but I think they actually take him into overtime again.
You think so?
But
I think this might be the
think
whooping.
so.
This might be the one where we're like, yo, y'all got us last time. We're going to handle this one this time. We ain't going to let it get out of hand.
This one's going to be serious
This
business.
one's personal. This one's personal.
They lost to the Giants last week.
Yes,
they lost to the Giants last
14-7
week.
with Tyrod Taylor in there.
And the Bears scored 40 on them. Commanders are weird.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to
They're
tell you.
up and
If they lose to
They did lose the secret agent man. So
that's crazy. Bro, did you know he's a Divisional II college athlete? He didn't even
Shepherd
play Division
University or Shepherd College.
He's the first quarterback ever
Really?
from Division II to win his starting first game in the NFL. That man made history, bro. They might be getting Justin Fields out of there. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna do that. But
Dude, I mean, yeah. Have you seen his dad?
40.
He arm wrestles like a 28-time champion.
no, forget his dad. Have you seen DeAndre Swift dad? That motherfucker was doing push-ups with his pinky. That motherfucker was doing something else. Like he's built like an ox. Like he is something different. I'm sure Frank, you saw that.
Stuff
Frank
together.
Yeah.
Commanders are not going to be this close like last time.
I'll go Eagles.
And I think this might be Eagle. I don't want to jinx, but I think this might be Hurts' first game without a turnover.
You just jinxed it.
I knocked on wood, motherfucker. I knocked on wood over here. Don't get me wrong. don't make me go back to the podcast
You better
next week
cross
after,
your
after he
toes,
throws
too.
one. I'm crossing everything, even my balls, man. You ain't got to tell me. Nah, but for real though. Like I think this is the game. I think Hurts is more back into himself. He did look a little injured. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was limping off, and then he came back into the game with a knee brace. So I'm a little concerned, but I think with all in all, I think this would be the game where we have a really solid game, and Hurts doesn't throw a turnover or fumbles
They're
a
going to
turnover.
run the ball a lot this time, I feel like.
Yeah. I think we will. This might be another 150-yard rushing game for Swift.
If you don't have a lot of injuries, if you have all your players active, most important players, you should dominate. Yeah, for sure, you should dominate. And when we talked earlier about the game against the Dolphins, who should have been a more difficult game, the Eagles outcoached the Dolphins as well. So it was not just the players; it was like domination, basically. Yeah. So I expect something even more domination playing the Commanders.
Yeah. Well, man, with that being said, guys, we got our predictions in for this week coming up for those two games. Let me see. Are there any other games here we want to bring up? Want to get their opinion on?
What do
I
you
don't really
guys
see
think
any
about
interesting. How about hold on. Jaguars Steelers. Yeah. Who you got? Jags Steelers. That's going to be a hell of a game, man. That's a 50-50 pick, or maybe 55-45 pick. Like it's not so easy to pick on that one, in my opinion. But who do you got, Ed? Obviously, you're going to say Steelers, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. You know how I feel. As soon as we lose another game, I'm gonna probably quit, not coming back to the podcast or like something like that. Because I just feel like.
Then I gotta get Joey to come from Cincinnati and change the name to the Deagles, and then it'll be the Dolphins and the Steagles podcast, and that way we can have Frank come on.
That's not a good look.
Nah, I was kidding.
No, but I think the Steelers can win this game. I think they will win this game. The Jaguars are a good team, but if the Steelers want to go places, they definitely got to beat good teams, and not just having the other team lose the game, but actually win the game. So I want to see them be able to have a dominant performance or a complete game
on both sides of the ball. Correct.
On both sides of the ball. Correct.
All right, Frank and Joey, who you guys got for Jags Steelers?
Steelers.
Frankie.
Frank.
Yeah,
I have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Frank.
No, you got. He says Steelers. You got it, Joey.
I think it's good. Oh man, the Steelers are getting there. I just think Jacksonville is getting hot. I'm sorry, Ed.
No,
I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
You're good. I think the Jags can.
They are
easily,
hot. That's why I said it's not an easy pick.
Honestly, after that first tier, that is actually right now is the Chiefs and the Eagles. The Jaguars can definitely be on that second tier. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
on that second
tier. Yeah,
that is everybody else.
That's Ravens. That's Niners. Well, Niners are like the top of the second tier, but I think it's like Niners, Ravens, Jags. I agree with you. And maybe the Lions are at the bottom because of that whooping they just got. But they're still a good team. They're still a good team.
I think the Lions now are closer to the Steelers, and the Steelers the Steelers are not even close to that tier. Yeah, the Lions, they got exposed. To be honest with you,
but
and the other thing is, I always say experience. They have not been a good team for too long.
The Lions,
so
they
don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
they don't know how to do that. So you know what I'm saying. And the Steelers, they haven't been good for a long time either. So but definitely the Jaguars are a more complete team than the Steelers. But I gotta go with my Steelers for this one.
Yeah. All right. I think we're all on the same page other than Joey, but I think we agree that it's not an easy pick. It's not. It's like I said, 55-45.
Should be a great game.
It could go either way. It can go either way. But yeah, man. So I want to thank you guys coming on to this episode. Frank, Joey, the Huddle Podcast, guys. For all of the people that watch ours, if you guys just want to take a quick second and go on YouTube and follow them, the Huddle Podcast, give them a subscribe and like their videos, man. We really appreciate that. They're some good guys. They have the same mindset we have. We're starting from scratch. We're just trying to make content, and we love talking sports. So again, I think it's a little bit of content for everybody here. So again, thank you, Joey. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Huddle Podcast. I will hopefully maybe join your podcast. We would love to come on yours sometime.
Definitely.
Pause. But
absolutely.
Yeah, man. So again, man, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you at some other time at the podcast again.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us. Much appreciated. And you guys, I've watched everyone, man. You guys are doing some good stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, for
I
sure.
just appreciate the content and just keep it going.
All right, man. Good luck on Sundays, man. Love and peace. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Pass.
All right, man. So that was a great conversation with the Huddle Podcast, Joey and Mr. Frank the Tank, man. Always love talking sports with people who are knowledge. And even if you're not knowledge, we love just entertaining conversation. But definitely some knowledge people in their team and sport. And I appreciate that, man. I really do. I want to thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week. We're going to be talking about what happened this week. And we're going to be talking about what's going to happen the week after. As always, we like to cover a week before, week after, and bring a fan to the podcast so that we can have some entertaining conversations. So if you guys want to join us, let us know, man. We're making this possible. You just got to reach out, and we're going to make it happen. So thank you guys for watching. This was episode number 11, week number 8. And as you guys already know what time it is, this is the Steagles Podcast where we talk
all Steelers,
all Eagles, all NFL.
NFL.
See you guys next week. Let's go, baby.